Is being Republican automatically considered as being a hateful person nowadays? The official GOP platform of the state of Texas reads, copy, pasted directly. Page 22. 155. Homosexuality is an abnormal lifestyle choice. Page 22. 156. We oppose all efforts to validate transgender identity. Page 25. 176. We urge the complete repeal of the hate crime laws. Pages 29. 206. D. Acknowledgement that the Church is a God-ordained institution with a sphere of authority separate from that of civil government, and thus the Church is not to be regulated. Page 29. 208. We affirm God's biblical design for marriage and sexual behavior between one biological man and one biological woman. Page 30. 210. We support the definition of marriage as a God-ordained, legal, and moral covenant only between one biological man and one biological woman. Not automatically, but there is a growing portion of Americans, especially young ones, who see the Republican Party in a very negative light. Supporting the Republican Party will get you the same treatment. As it happens, people are often judged for the decisions they make, the company they keep, and the things they advocate for in this life. Nothing new on that front. It would immediately trigger a very long list of, "Are you okay with?" that the party supports, questions that it's hard to see them getting out of cleanly. You can only say, you have to take the bad with the good, so many times. I think it's unfair to say, yes, but at the same time, just about every person I know who still self-identifies as a Republican has some pretty hateful beliefs. Most Republicans I know are not xenophobes, racists, misogynists, or anti-gay bigots. In my own state, our last governor spoke out against Trump's racism and xenophobia and was generally supportive of gay rights. But the Republican Party has been pandering to that fraction of the American population for decades, culminating in Trump. And now in many places it's expelling those who have the courage to stand up against them. Our last candidate for Attorney General was a supporter both of the Confederacy and the Jan. 6th insurrection. When you choose people of low character to represent your party, you shouldn't be surprised at the result. And yes, this goes for Democrats also choosing people like Bill Clinton. Personally, that makes them immediately undateable, and they will never move beyond acquaintance in terms of friendship. I don't assume they're hateful, but I do know I will disagree with them about pretty much everything, and they're not worth my time. The question is, does it matter if they are hateful? If the policies and opinions you support and promote negatively affect poor people, minorities, women, immigrants, LGBTQ, etc., does it really matter if you are polite in your discrimination and oppression, or if you are hateful about it? Asking this on Reddit was never going to give you a balanced base of answers. It's like you asked a bunch of evangelicals if Satan truly deserves the hate. In America it absolutely is now, yes. Well, if it's an image problem, then the actually non-hateful ones are 100% fully welcome to step forward and admit to their party's tilt into horrendous and hateful perspectives that warp anything resembling democracy. Otherwise, it's not just an image problem, and if people are getting the impression that Republicans are doing bad guy things, maybe they are in fact the bad guys. A few friends of mine in the dating scene have said they have caught Republican guys pretending to be moderate or independent so they are dateable. Their social media history says otherwise. So yeah, it looks like they're starting to build up a stigma, at least amongst the youth. Two people were eating dinner with a Nazi. How many Nazis are at the dinner? Okay, sorry. But if you're still supporting that party, with everything they're about and stand behind now, then I think you can be considered a person of questionable character. Yes. The party regularly sides with positions that are, while Republicans don't believe it, necessarily have to be bigoted and hateful to exist. Bathroom bills against trans people necessarily have to view them as sexual predators. Not people. That's hateful. If it was about the worry of sexual assault, those laws already exist. It's just about hate. The "don't say gay," where you don't allow teachers to even admit their sexuality that doesn't fit the norm, is necessarily hateful. It's assuming that anything outside of heteronormative is harmful in itself, and the people who are LGBTQ exist as harm to society. It's hideous bigotry. To put death buoys with razor wire and saw blades attached, you have to hate people seeking a better life for their children, just because of where they're from. Stuff like that is why. Inherently, they probably not, but it's guilty by associate. They are enabling the hateful people by voting for Republicans. My view is this. The Republican Party is headed by Trump. If you are a Republican, he is a reflection of your values and beliefs because he still has a majority of Republican support. Trump is an evil, selfish person who is trying to only enrich himself any way possible, even at the cost of democracy. If you don't want to be called evil or selfish, don't associate with evil or selfish people. Don't be a Republican anymore, because the party has already abandoned you and your views. So you should abandon them. Not saying anyone has to vote straight down the opposite side of the ticket, but don't support the party that is supporting the teardown of democracy. Considered by who? By some people. Yes. By others. No. My own opinion is that I don't care what's in your heart, or whatever. I care what your actions are. If your actions are that you vote for hateful candidates or hateful policies, then you are a hateful person for all intents and purposes. And in 2023, I don't personally know of any Republican candidates who don't support hateful policies. Therefore, if you vote Republican, I don't trust you. In my book, Respect is Earned, I've had friends from all political parties. The one thing they all had in common? None of them were hateful assholes. They respected other people's opinions even if they were different from their own. I'm not sure if they are all hateful, though they do stand for and support a hateful ideology whether they know it or not. I think it is a sign that they are self-centered and probably think they are the smartest, most deserving person in the world. Not necessarily, but the party continues to spiral lower and lower. It's now to the point where I really don't recognize both the politicians nor the voters. A large chunk of Republicans still support Trump, which is mind-boggling to me. I'm not a big Democrat guy, but when compared to the GOP, they seem much more rational and grounded. I know there are plenty of decent Republicans out there and probably some decent, mild conservatives too, but a massive portion of the GOP is just nasty, mean and downright deluded. Truthfully, it's hard for me to call modern-day Trumpers, conservatives, Republicans, simply because they are so different from what a Republican was 20 years ago. Maybe these MAGA fools were always like this, or maybe they learned to be this way. Personally, I think a lot of MAGA people are just poorly educated. If you're a well-rounded and decent Republican, I won't automatically assume you are some hateful, bigoted person like most MAGA fools. I will wait to judge you after I get to know you and see how you carry yourself. To judge without getting to know someone, well, it's really dumb.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.